Good morning. Good morning on this thankful Thursday. It is so good to be with you guys. I'm thankful. Thankful to be with you. Thankful to be able to come on Facebook Live and engage you guys, and just grateful. Good morning, Erica. Grateful for today. Today is Thursday. Where are we? On June the 18th. And so it's a good thing. And so let's go out and make today happen for us. You know, I wanted to wear my little funny hat for you when I came on and be like, good morning. Hey, Angela. Good morning. Anyway, I didn't get to put it on. But we'll try that again, and maybe we can have it where I'll be able to ask you guys to post your hats. Now, the reason why I got into hats is because I'm allergic to the sun. Can you believe that? It just has a field day on my neck, and so I got into hats. But I really enjoy hats. Now, there are women, you know, I've been in the church forever, and women just love hats. Like, you know, I got my sister on here, Erica. She loves hats. I mean, I've seen her in them. I shouldn't say love, but I've seen her in them. I, on the other hand, didn't really like it covering up my head, but anyway, I do have it in here. I just want to show you the big hat that I wear. This is the big hat that I wear to block the sun. Get a lot of compliments on it too. Hello. Anyway, anywho, as they say, I'm glad to be here this morning with you. And like I said, anywho. But one day we'll get into the hat thing. But this morning, you know, Tuesday, this past Tuesday, I talked about resiliency. And I'm still on that line, and I gave some definitions, some steps to take. And guess what I didn't do? I need to still provide you the author from UCLA. I'm going to put that on my timeline when I get done with this one. So today, I'm still trending on that. Good morning, Nadira. I'm still talking about that, but I was just thinking about where we are, and you guys have heard me talk about where we are in America, you know, and right now we are living in a nation that is laid naked before the world. We are living in a nation that's laying naked before the world. It is like it had a huge Band-Aid on it. And the Band-Aid was removed, was just ripped off. And underneath that Band-Aid, you see injustices, lies, pains. You see hurts. You can see travesties. You see that. And I was thinking about it because I can relate to that. I can relate because when I was going through my healing process of being sexually abused, I felt like a big, huge Band-Aid had been ripped away from me. Now, the reason that Band-Aid had been ripped away from me because I began to get close to God. And the Bible says that when you get close to God, when you come near God, he comes near you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that a little later about God coming near us. But as I studied his word and got in a relationship, really got in a relationship with God, his light began to shine on me. And so that's why it felt like a huge Band-Aid I've been stripped. I was exposed, naked. laying bare. And underneath was the lies, hi Maury, that I had been told. The pains, the hurt, the injustices. All of that was there. All of it. And it had been uncovered. And because it had been uncovered, I was off balance. I was literally off balance because I could no longer rely on managing myself through that. I had to be led out of that. And who led me out of that? Well, God led me out of that, but he chose a team of people who were going to lead me. I didn't know who the players were. I didn't know the players, but God knew the players. But he built a team. So I had people who would pray with me. I had a prayer partner who would get with me every Monday, and we would pray. I started going to a church up in Clarkston who had a healing ministry, and a girlfriend introduced me to the church. And just walking in the doors just brought peace. But I began to heal through that. And what I can tell you is that I had to confront all of that had been in me. I can't say that, I can say maybe some of it was laying dormant, but some of it wasn't laying dormant because it was ruling my life. It was dictating my future instead of God dictating my future. It was doing the dictating. And I recall one time when I was driving home from church. It wasn't on a Sunday. It was on a weekday. And I think I had gone to a Bible study or special service because during this time, we would have special services at our church. And I was driving home, going home from church. And the Lord impressed upon my mind that I was believing yet another lie. I just was like, are you kidding me? How many lies have I believed? How many lies have I believed, Lord? I just can't believe that I have believed another lie. And I just burst out into tears. I just burst into tears. And I began to just cry it out before the Lord. Because he was showing me that lies were dictating my life, was dictating my life. Lies were, not his truth. His truth wasn't doing the dictating. It was the lies. The lies that had been said to me, the injustices that had been done. A next door neighbor who was supposed to be trusted manipulated and violated me and told me that he loved me. I was just a young girl, so he manipulated a young mind. But I had to confront it. That's what I had to do. And that's why the parallel is there with America, because I really believe that if we don't confront it, then we're doomed to repeat it. And that's what happens. So, of course, I share with you guys about living in the rear view mirror. See, a lot of us, we can live in the past because our past is dictating our future. So we're living in the rear view mirror. I call that the junk in the trunk. The junk in the trunk is doing all the dictating, and it's telling you, oh, I'm never going to do this, or, you know, my mother treated me like that, or, oh, I had a terrible childhood because of my father. All of that is dictating your future, all of it. And that's what I began to see. And it was really sad to see that and to confront it. And what I can also tell you is that as painful it was to confront all that had been in me or imposed upon me, I should say. All of that had been imposed upon me, that I had to make a decision to journey into the unfamiliar heaven. Because in my mind, the hell that I was in, it was worse. It was going to just get worse. And I needed to journey in the unfamiliar heaven. I needed to take that journey. Well, my name is Regina Hall. I am a speaker, trainer, and coach. I desire to help women discover themselves by transforming their minds and emotions through journeying in self-acceptance, personal authenticity, and living out their authenticity. I desire to watch them add value to other people as they add value to themselves, I should say. And I am starting a group for women who are dealing with hurts and pains, memories of the past that are dictating their lives. I'm starting a group called Enlightened Hearts. I was asking my girlfriend, what should I name the group? What should I name the group? And she was like, I agreed, Enlightened Hearts. Yes. Because my heart had to be changed and enlightened. That's what had to happen to my heart. And the Lord gave me Enlightened Heart Services. And that's from a verse in Ephesians 1:18. Go and read it. It's a powerful verse. But the Lord gave me that verse, Enlightened Heart Services. So it's called Enlightened Hearts. You can look it up. It is private. And I am going to start doing workshops and trainings and working through multiple sessions where we can heal. There's so many women hurting. As a coach, I get to coach women, and I hear the hurts and I hear the pains. And I know men have gone through it as well. Men join me all the time. They go through it as well. And so here, I'll still be coming here on Tuesday, Thoughtful Tuesday, and Thankful Thursday. But I'm going to travel over to once a week, providing a 1 hour or 30 minutes to 1 hour session. That's not going to start immediately. I'll be letting everyone know when that's going to start. And that may be even more private, depending on how large the group get. But I really want us as women to deal with the junk in our trunk, to allow ourselves to no longer be dictated by our past, our hurts and our pains. And that means that we are going to have to make ourselves vulnerable, that we are going to have to trust. I choose to trust Jesus Christ. But in recovery program, a healing program, you have to trust a higher power. My choice is Jesus. But you have to choose what works for you. So I just wanted to share that today. America is hurting, and it definitely needs healing. And it definitely needs to deal with its junk in the trunk. But that's an individual thing as well as a collective thing. See, because America is people. We are the people, right? We the people. We are the people who need the healing. And if I just truly believe if people will start going through the healing process and stop denying where we are and what's going on, we can have a better America. I know because I began to deal with me, and it was really hard because something that happened to me, I had to deal with. And I thought that was so unfair, and I think I shared that before. It's unfair. But even though it was unfair, I still had to deal with it. It was my responsibility to heal from it. So I just wanted to share that today. Go over to Enlightened Hearts, and it's you can find it on my business page, Enlightened Heart Services. So you can travel right over there and click. I'm still in the process of really making it pretty and putting in the slogans and everything for it. But I finally decided to just jump and do it. It was time for this group to start for women. So I invite you. I'm looking forward to it. I am thankful that God has done a mighty work in me. And let's not get it twisted, because he's still doing work on me. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not what I used to be. How about that? Well, thanks for joining Morning Tea with Regina. Travel over to my page, Enlightened Heart Services. Give me a like. Join the group, Enlightened Hearts. Or go to reginachall.com and email me and let me know about your thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful and thankful Thursday, and may the Lord shine on you. I want to leave you with this quote. It's 2 quotes. It says, it's by Dr. King. It says, the darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And then in John, this is in the Bible, John 1:5, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. Let's shine together. Have a great and blessed day.